Welcome back to the Meadowlands Environment Center. My name is Miss Vicki.
And I'm Miss Coryn.
Today we will be talking about many different fish we can find living here in our salt marsh habitat.
Our salt marsh is home to many different types of fish. One of the most common fish we can find is the mummichog, also known as the Atlantic killifish.
It is believed that the word killie comes from the Dutch word kil, which means shallow waters, which is exactly the kind of waters we have right here.
Mummichogs can be found on the Atlantic coast of North America from Labrador, Canada to Mexico. We can find them in our salt marsh by scooping up mud at the bottom of the water with dip nets. Females lay microscopic eggs. The larvae that hatch are about 1/4 of an inch in length. When they reach adulthood, they range in size from 1 to 2 inches to about 6 inches in length. To determine whether a mummichog is male or female, look at the pattern on their body. Males have a much brighter pattern and display vertical stripes, whereas females are more dull in color and lack any stripes. Mummichogs are extremely resilient, tolerating extreme changes in temperature, salinity, and dissolved oxygen levels. We will be talking about some of these water quality terms in future videos. Mummichogs exhibit an interesting behavior where their bodies react to lightness or darkness by adjusting their color accordingly. On the left, the fish was in a shaded room. Its color and pattern was dark and vibrant. On the right, the same fish was taken outside under the bright sun. Within minutes, its color was very light and dull. Another fish that can be found in our salt marsh are American eels. Not to be confused with electric eels, American eels have a smooth, slippery body that is safe to touch and pick up. Their bodies are covered in mucus, and even though it may appear they have no scales, they do in fact have tiny scales covering their bodies. American eels spend most of their lives living in coastal habitats and estuaries, but adults return to their birthplace, the Sargasso Sea, to spawn and die. Once hatched, the larvae travel towards the Atlantic coast. Most of the eels found in our salt marsh are young glass eels, which are transparent because they have not yet developed the green pigment normally seen in older eels and adults. Once they have developed a green-brownish pigmentation, they are known as elvers. One fascinating fact about eels is that they are nocturnal, hunting predominantly at night, spending their days in the mud. At low tide, these eels can sometimes be found under rocks. Some other fish that live in our salt marsh at different times of the year are silversides, carp, and white perch.
Did you know that killifish were the first fish to enter space aboard a rocket in 1973?
Another fun fact is that killifish were introduced to ponds as a natural mosquito control because they can consume up to 2,000 larvae per day.
We hope you enjoyed learning about some of the fish we have living in our Meadowland salt marsh habitats. We are looking forward to answering and hearing your questions that you have.